I'd like to call the village board meeting to order. Let the record reflect. It is Tuesday, June 1st, 2021 at 8:06 p.m. This meeting is being conducted pursuant to Governor Pritzker's Disaster Proclamation and Public Act 101-0640, which amends requirements of the Open Meetings Act due to COVID-19 pandemic. Although remote attendance is an option for the board members, all are present. Thus, we do not need to confirm the audio. All the materials for this meeting are available on the village website, and we recommend the members and the public follow the agenda as posted. For items with public comment, after members have spoken, I will forward public comment as follows. Once I, the chair of a list of all public commenters, I will call on each person present at the meeting and afford them 3 minutes for their comment. Further time, up to an additional 3 minutes, may be granted by a motion of the village board. The public was also provided the opportunity to submit a request until noon today by email to clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written request in the Dropbox at Village Hall to participate publicly via a live telephone call at the relevant portion of the public meeting. Lastly, the public was provided the opportunity to submit written comments until noon today by emailing their public comments to the clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written comment in the Dropbox at Village Hall. Written comments will not be read aloud. And finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. At this time, now let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Just went, I didn't realize they took the flag.
Who did?
A couple of porks must have taken it.
We can't,
Nobody told me.
we don't have a
I
flag.
think the manager just went to get it.
Yeah, we can't. We need that.
We need that. Yeah, where did it go?
Nobody told me. Here he comes. Here it comes.
There it is.
Tried to break our lights.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Goes over there, Dave.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Yes.
Almost called.
Dave, we don't need more
Kurtz.
time.
Prepare to post colors. Post colors. It's Boy Scout way.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Deputy Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady.
Yes, present.
Trustee Brennan.
Present.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Mahoney.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
Trustee Sullivan. Here. President Glass.
Present. Item number 1. I'd like to ask for a motion to consider approval of the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Mike?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Bill. Deputy Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan. Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 2, I would like to ask for a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the regular village board meeting that was held on May 18th, 2021.
So moved?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Deputy Clerk, you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Would happily like to turn over item number 3 to Trustee Sullivan.
Yes. On Saturday, May 22nd, 2021, at the Victor J. Andrew High School graduation ceremony, Nayla Yassine and Mary Casper responded to a woman who became unresponsive and unconscious. Nayla and Mary, who are both nurses at Payless Hospital, sprang into action and started CPR immediately. Thankfully, the woman eventually regained consciousness and was taken to Payless Hospital. Later that evening, I found out that she was listed in stable condition. The village board would like to acknowledge Nayla and Mary for their decisive action and in their demonstrating excellence and professionalism in a time of need. So thank you. I just have to add that I was there. I was just with a few feet of you, and it was very scary situation. And it was, having stopped the ceremony, and it was a great outcome. It was nice to see her responsive at the end. So thank you both very much, and we have something we'd like to share with you too. If you'd like to come up to the board.
Over here.
Gotcha.
Okay. So certificate of recognition on behalf of the citizens of Tinley Park. This certificate is awarded to Mary Casper in recognition for life-saving actions on May 22nd, 2021, for saving the life of a woman at the Victor J. Andrew High School graduation. So thank you, Mary. Mary? Yes. Okay, I knew I've spoken, emailed both of you. Oh, I didn't see the picture. So here, I'd like to present this to you. Thank you. And then Nayla, a certificate of recognition on behalf of the citizens of Tinley Park. This certificate is awarded to Nayla Yassine in recognition for life-saving actions on May 22nd, 2021, for saving the life of a woman at the Victor J. Andrew High School graduation ceremony. So thank you, Nayla. Thank you. Thank you both.
I'm sure her family thanks you as well.
Item number 4, receive presentation at Tinley Park Business Spotlight. Discuss the following businesses. Nick, where'd you go? Would you like to go first for the Odyssey? In Sweet Spot? Go ahead.
We'll talk about those as well. Sorry. Good evening. Thank you for having me here tonight. My name is Nick Halikias from the Odyssey Sweet Spot Sports Bar, the Odyssey Venue, the Odyssey Golf Foundation, and the Odyssey Fun World. My family has been operating here in Tinley Park for the past 30 years plus. I don't know the exact number, but it's a little more than that. The Sweet Spot Sports Bar was opened in 1997 as a place where golfers could get a refreshment and hit a bucket of balls. Over the years, we have done numerous events there with live entertainment as well as our parking lot party series before country concerts, which also featured live entertainment there. We also do birthday parties over there, retirement parties, graduation parties, mini golf outings, fundraising events, and other events as well. Last year during the COVID lockdown, we made a decision to freshen up the Sweet Spot. We added outdoor dining portion of underneath our hitting deck, also adding a ping pong table out there, foosball table, some old vintage arcade games, bags, Connect 4, life-size Connect 4, life-size Jenga, just to keep people interested in out there doing things. In addition to these activities, guests also have the ability to work on their golf game by getting a bucket of balls, using our chipping area that we have out there, or simply just using our practice putting green. The driving range is open year-round with heated tees for the wintertime, which has got about 8 hitting stalls out there. It has grass tees for the summer, and also has lights for hitting during the evenings as well. There is also a great menu that we have for dining in at our facility or carrying out to home. We also sell on DoorDash as well. Our hours of operation for the driving range right now is 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. The sweet spot hours are from 12 p.m. in the afternoon to 2 a.m. in the morning during the week. And on Fridays and Saturdays, it's open till 3 a.m. During our peak season and pre-COVID, we used to employ close to 150 employees. We're getting back there again as we reopen here, which is great. This is also our 30-year anniversary for the golf course. We opened in 1991, and right now we're doing our 30th year. Our 27 years of service in our banquet department. We are 26 years at the Odyssey Fun World, and 24 years at the Sweet Spot Sports Bar and the driving range. We have been in the community for many years and continue to look forward to working with the village and the community itself in making Tinley Park a great place to live, work, and relax. I appreciate your time as well. Thank you for having me here. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to ask me. I'm here for it, but we are open. We are definitely working with the parameters under the what the governor has laid out, and we are here to support the community. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
you.
Nick, for your contribution to Tinley Park. You guys have been here for a long time. Thank you for coming.
Great.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys for everything. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Next, we have Speedy Burrito at 7108 171st Street. Priscilla, do you want to come up?
Good evening, everybody. For those who don't know me, I'm the Business Development Manager for the Village of Tinley Park, and part of what I do here is meet with our businesses in town to help retain them, see how the village can help them grow, and so many other things. And this is Carolina Gonzalez of Speedy Burrito. We met, was it last week? No, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And just on a normal business retention visit, and her little sweetheart here. And I asked her if she would speak at the spotlight, and she said, I need someone who can translate. And I'm like, well, no problem. Like, we'll do that because we want to show in Tinley Park that anyone is welcome. And it doesn't matter what language you speak. We're happy to have Carolina in town, so I'll let her talk, and then she'll pause so I can translate.
Priscilla, you want to let her daughter go first?
Sí, mi nombre es Carolina Gonzaga. Llevamos 8 años en Tinley Park. Gracias a Dios.
Her name is Carolina Gonzaga. She's been in Tinley Park 8 years, and thanks to God.
Y esperamos seguir muchos años más y seguir trabajando con la ciudad y tratar de hacer lo mejor que podamos.
She looks forward to being here many more years, continuing to work with the village and doing anything she can to grow and to help the community.
Y tratamos de dar el mejor servicio que podemos.
She's always trying to give the best service that she can. I did want to just add, because she's selling herself short, I was there when I met with her. I got some food to bring home to my kids, and the tacos were great. So it is a Mexican restaurant right on 171st Street. The tacos, tortas, burritos. My kids had some corn, the Mexican corn on the cob. Lots of snacks. Do you want to tell them a little bit about the ice cream shop?
Queremos continuar con seguir sirviendo la nieve.
So she has another ice cream shop that's connected to the restaurant, and they're looking to revamp it and reopen it. So she's looking forward to having that soon. ¿Algo más?
Y pues tratamos de hacer lo mejor que se pueda con la comida, tratar de que todo sea al día.
Everything is made fresh. Of course, they do the best they can to serve fresh products and the best food that they can to the public. Something else she didn't mention was they purchased the business 8 years ago from the previous owner, and at the time she and her husband hadn't had any experience with operating a restaurant, so they took that plunge, and I really congratulate her. That's not easy for an entrepreneur to do, so ¿Es todo? Voy a terminar entonces con decir que just I want to thank her for being in Tinley Park, thank her for taking that risk 8 years ago, and we're here to help. Estamos aquí para ayudarte.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 5. I'd like to ask for a motion to consider the following commission appointments for fiscal year 2022 listed below. The new members are noted with an asterisk. Do I have a motion?
So moved?
Have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? Deputy Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Item number 6, we should have called it item number 1. Allison's always number 1. I would like to ask the board to consider appointing Allison Tugin to the position of Senior Finance Clerk. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Thank you. Due to the retirement, the Finance Department has reevaluated the administrative and customer service facing operations, resulting in the development of the position of Senior Finance Clerk. Allison has been identified as the selected internal staff to fill this position. See, she is number 1. Allison joined the village on September 27th of 2005, working in the clerk's office and finance department. Allison has demonstrated outstanding performance while taking on any new responsibilities. Her knowledge of the village helps her resolve problems quickly and efficiently. Consider appointing Allison to the position of Senior Finance Clerk effective June 2nd, 2021. Allison, you always have something to say. You want to say something?
We haven't voted.
I just want to think, oh, yeah. I was wondering if you were going to bring that up. Just want to thank you guys for the opportunity. I absolutely love working here, and I love the people I work with. I love everything that I do. So I'm really excited to keep going in the finance departments and learn new things and keep everything going. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Allison.
Thank you.
We have to vote for that?
He's ready to party.
Item number 7.
Oh, get a roll.
Oh, sorry. Deputy Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 7. I'd like to ask for a motion to consider appointing Pamela Volante to the position of Administrative Assistant for the Public Works. I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. The Public Works Department has reevaluated the operational administrative support needs, resulting in the development of an administrative assistant position. Pamela has been identified as a selected internal staff to fill this position. Pam joined the Public Works Department on September 19, 2018, in a part-time clerical position and has demonstrated tremendous character and work ethic. She has shown the ability to effectively execute her assignments and responsibilities. Pam has proven to be a true asset to both Public Works and the Village of Tinley Park. Prior to joining the village, she has held various administrative assistant roles and management position in various industries. Consider appointing Pamela Volante to the position of Administrative Assistant Public Works effective June 2nd of 2021. Would you like to say anything? You have to follow Allison.
Allison's a tough act to follow, especially with those kids, but I just want to thank the board and thank the Public Works Department for this opportunity. I enjoy my job in the village. I've lived in the village for 24 years. I've raised my family here. I take pride in this community, and I look forward to continuing my effort to making this a better place.
Thanks, Pamela.
Good, thank you.
Deputy Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 8. Consider approval of the following consent agenda items. Deputy Clerk, can you please read these? Oh, wait a sec.
You got it.
Consent item A, consider adopting resolution 2021R-048, authorizing the renewal of a professional services agreement with Alliant for Health Insurance Broker Services. Consent B, consider a request for a block party permit on Saturday, June 19th, 2021 on Creekside Avenue between 170th Place and 170,000 Creekside Avenue from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And consent C, consider payments of outstanding bills in the amount of $1,018,809.75 as listed on the vendor board approval reports dated May 21st and May 28th, 2021.
Thank you. Anyone from the board care to remove any items from this consent agenda or have any questions? No. Can we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Thank you. Deputy Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 9, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2021-0-017, granting a variation from minimum apartment size at 6732 173rd Street.
Is there a second? I'll ask again, is there a second?
Second.
Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner, George Fakery, is seeking a variation to permit a 557 square foot, one-bedroom multifamily dwelling instead of the minimum requirement of 800 square feet. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on April 1st, 2021, and voted 5-1 to recommend the approval of the variation in accordance with the plan's conditions and findings of facts listed in the staff report. The Plan Commission held an additional condition that any existing fire code or egress violations have been corrected prior to occupancy. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
For the new board members, either Trustee Mueller or Kimberly, would anyone like to give a short description of
Anyone?
this, or no?
Give a little bit.
Briefly, the staff was approached by the owner in regards to a vacancy they had in the upstairs of their building, which is in the back of Durbin. And there are 3 units upstairs, with one of them being vacant, and the owner wanted to turn that back into an apartment. I guess in the past, there were apartments up there. I think this building was remodeled in the 90s, according to our historian. But the tax issues basically became the factor in why they felt they needed to make the adjustment. Having an apartment up there does give it a mixed-use category, which does bring that tax down, which has been a burden in our downtown area. So that's why you do see a lot of the mixed use in the downtown. So we did take in that request, we reviewed it, ran it through the process. We did have some of the tenants come to the Plan Commission meeting and voice some concerns about some things they wanted addressed that were good points, which we did get the owner to, we believe, come to conclusion on those. And one of them was the wall pack lights on the back. They did get those now operational. There was a security concern that now that a resident might be living there permanently. So we did get that addressed. I have confirmation that those lights are working from the tenants as well. There was a request for, initially there was an issue with a door lock that did get resolved as well. We did have that other issue with the cameras, recently in my memo that I provided for you, the owner has agreed to install those. It would be a part of a condition of the building permit review and occupancy. That would just add additional security to the facility, as that would maybe bring some, resolution to the tenants that voiced those concerns. And then we've been working with the fire department. They did have some issues that need to be resolved. They do have a court hearing on that I've been told, that will be, addressed. And obviously, everything would be conditional on, all that being rectified prior to an occupancy or even a building permit. So, that's kind of a quick summary, and anything else?
Yeah, and I'll just echo on Kimberly's statements there. The mixed use really will provide a substantial tax relief for this owner, allowing him to keep that building occupied for many years to come. And I think when I look at this, we've made these variations in the past for the 800 square feet. Tenants are getting into these with their eyes open. They know what they're getting. And it's not an unreasonable thing that we'd allow for this size. We've got an active downtown where people will be out about, and they don't just use their apartment or their home. So I think this is pretty reasonable request with a nice tax benefit on the side of it. So I appreciate it all, Kimberly.
How recently have we made variations for 557 square foot apartments?
I don't know if we've gone that low in a
I
little
look
while.
back at the staff report. I recall, I can't remember the exact date I want to quote. I can look it up.
No, as Mike mentioned it, I just want to see if it's something recent, because I don't remember as a trustee ever voting
It
for
would be prior
something.
to you, I know that for sure.
Yeah, so it hasn't been recent. The other question I had on it, the reason it was tabled, was that all cleared up?
Yes.
With
There was the locks, the light.
No, the figuring out the fines?
Oh, that, they, according to Dan Reardon, they're due in court this 6th. And, understand that's gonna come to a conclusion, but that will also be a pending issue if not resolved prior to a building permit issue or occupancy.
Okay, so that would be part of it as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then, last meeting, we spoke that you were gonna ask both tenants, they're perfectly fine if they have a camera, that they have no problem now renting it, because they had some major concerns the last time this came forward.
Yep. We personally, myself and Priscilla met on site and met with both the owners, or the business owners, Love Inc. and the salon, and their request was if they could have a camera in that hallway above the bathroom and a camera at the front door. And they wanted a second camera on the first floor of the bathroom, but the owner agreed to the upstairs, which is where the concern of the tenant coming up there, and that's next to their businesses, and then at the main entrance, which should provide the security, and they felt that they would support if the cameras was a big deal. And they were very grateful for the lights getting fixed as well.
And all that would be contingent on the occupancy, if it passed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions from the board on this?
He would be considered a landlord then. Would he have to abide by the laws that all landlords have to in Tinley Park?
Correct. We have a crime-free housing program that they would register for, I believe, and still would be part of annual inspections because it is a mixed-use building and there are businesses, so our fire department will go in there annually as well.
So he still has to follow that even if it's a mixed use?
Right now, as a landlord, he has annual inspections with the fire department. That's about the extent of what we go in there and help regulate. But with the residential unit, he now is subject to our crime-free housing program.
Okay, that's
which
right.
he has to do an addendum to his lease that states, if we have any issues, I think that's when our Douglas Elba, who runs that program, can get involved. And we help assist landlords get problem tenants out and things like that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Deputy Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady.
No.
Trustee Brennan.
No.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
No.
President Class.
It's 3-3. No. Motion fails. Item number 10, trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2021-R-034, authorizing the execution of a tax increment financing redevelopment agreement within the 159th and Harlem TIF District between the Village of Tinley Park and JMW Properties LLC for a property located at 7061 and 7063 159th Street.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. JMW Properties LLC is requesting the village provide economic assistance to make improvements to their shopping center. The proposed incentive consists of sharing up to $960,000 of TIF incremental revenue produced by this site alone. The village proposes to share 75% of the TIF incentive produced for a maximum of 10 years to reimburse the eligible costs with the conditions outlined in the draft agreement. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Any questions from the board? Deputy Clerk, you please call a roll.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 11, trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance
Bless you.
2021-0-033, granting a parking variation to property located at 17821 80th Avenue, the Junction Shopping Center.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Mike.
Union Bar and Grill has requested a parking variation in order to construct an outdoor dining patio at their restaurant. The proposal includes the addition of a 900 square foot patio with a pergola where there is currently parking. The Plan Commission reviewed the variation at a special Plan Commission meeting on May 27, 2021, and voted 5-0 to recommend the variation to the village board. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you. You guys want to come up to the mic?
Don't be shy, Anthony.
When are you ever shy?
My name's Joe Colucci, for those of you who don't know me.
Any questions for Joe?
Want to put the microphone up so we can hear you?
Sure, absolutely. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Any questions for Joe?
My only question, not specifically for Joe, but there was, it sounded like they're only giving up a small amount of parking, but the Plan Commission talked about requirements of 185, and they only have 130 some. Has to be some other reason?
Well, the entire shopping center, when it was built, isn't meeting the parking standards that we have today. And so that was the bigger number that was being referenced. But in general, we don't foresee that there's a parking issue in that area. And that's common. Shopping centers don't always meet the, one for one. So that's why that sounds like a big number.
And that was before they have anything
Correct.
to
This
do with
shopping
it.
center's,
Okay.
yeah, been in play for a while. So this is,
Okay.
yeah.
I saw the plans, they look awesome, so looking
Appreciate
forward
it.
to this outdoor space in
Thank
Tinley
you.
Park.
I
Appreciate
think I want to say, Joe, yourself and your shy partner, Anthony. You guys put a big investment into Tinley, and you came at a bad time, and you guys were ready to open, and you guys stayed closed for a long time with a lot of running overhead, and I appreciate that. You guys did a great job. It's a great business. We don't have any problems. I love going there with my family.
Appreciate it.
And I just want to thank you guys for committing to Tinley and staying through it.
We appreciate all your help.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
for everything.
Appreciate all you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Deputy Clerk, can you call the roll for Joe Colucci, since Anthony's not coming up?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries for Joe. Item number 12, Trustee Mahoney.
I move to consider adopting resolution 2021-R-043, approving a contract between the Village of Tinley Park and Iroquois Paving Corporation for the fiscal year 2022 Pavement Management Program, PMP, resurfacing program.
Thank you. We have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dennis.
The project entails approximately 4.8 miles of pavement improvements, which includes street resurfacing by heater scarification, hot mix asphalt, surface removal and replacement, pavement and pavement patching, miscellaneous concrete repairs, sidewalk repairs, structure adjustments, pavement strippings, and other miscellaneous improvements in order to complete this project. Based on a low bid amount and project budget, additional street improvements will be evaluated and potentially added to this project.
Keep going.
Consider awarding a contract to Iroquois Paving Corporation in the amount of $2,287,256.64. This item was considered at the Committee of the Whole meeting held previously to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks.
Anyone from the board have any questions? Anyone from the public? Care to address the board? Let the record reflect there are none. Deputy Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 13, Trustee Mahoney.
I move to consider adopting Resolution 2021-R-044, approving a contract between the Village of Tinley Park and Traffic Control Company for the pavement stripping program. Pavement striping program. Final contract extension.
Thanks, Dennis. We have a second?
I'll second that.
Go ahead, Dennis.
The Public Works Department, in its role of maintaining our village-owned streets, utilized the pavement striping services of Traffic Control Company the last 2 years to clean and restripe a number of selected streets throughout the village. These services total approximately 8.5 miles of roadway striping throughout the village. This will be the final renewal of the 3-year contract. Consider awarding a contract to Traffic Control Company in the amount of $90,000. This item was considered at the Committee of the Whole meeting held on May 18th, 2021. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Dennis. Anyone from the board have any questions? Anyone from the public? Let the record reflect. There are none. Deputy Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 14, Trustee Mueller, you're up again.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2021-0-030, granting a map amendment for a property located at 17120 and 17126 Harlem Avenue to B1 Neighborhood Shopping.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
Petitioner Christopher Alikias is seeking approval to rezone the property in order to construct a 7,422 square foot multi-tenant commercial building with a Starbucks drive-through. The project requires the rezoning of the property from R1 single-family residential to B1 neighborhood commercial. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on May 27, 2021, voted 5-0 to recommend approval of the map amendment in accordance with its plans, conditions, and findings of facts listed in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions from the board? Anyone from the public care to comment? Deputy Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 15, Trustee Mueller.
I'm going to actually sneak a quick motion in before item number 15. So just a quick note before we get to the substance of item number 15. This item was recently approved by unanimous vote and at the Plan Commission meeting and been thoroughly reviewed prior to that by our Community Development Department. With the construction season upon us, it's prudent that we get this development up and running, and I'll make a motion to waive first reading on item 15 and its companion resolution on item number 16, which is the adoption of its plat of subdivision. So on your packets, it's already listed as eligible for adoption. This is to ask for waiving first read so that we can do the adoption next.
Okay,
Second on that.
have a second?
I'll second that, but does item 14 not need it then too, or?
14 did not need it just because it was a rezoning.
Okay.
This is a PUD.
Yeah,
All right, I'll second that.
thank you.
Go ahead. Deputy Clerk, you call the roll on that?
Sure. Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee
amendment.
Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, so item number 15, I move we consider adopting ordinance 2021-0-031, granting a special use permit for a planned unit development less than 5 acres for property located at 1700 to 17126 Harlem Avenue on behalf of 17118 South Harlem Tinley Park LLC, also known as Vequity.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The petitioner, Christopher Alikias, is requesting a special use permit for a planned unit development with exceptions over both the new development and the 7-Eleven project immediately adjacent to the north, which is currently under construction by the same developer. The PUD allows for a drive-through use to be permitted, as well as a cohesive development pattern, shared access, and single signage between the developments. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on May 27, 2021, and voted 5-0 to recommend approval of the special use permit for the planned unit development in accordance with the plans, conditions, and findings of facts listed in the staff report. So now this ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions from the board? Nope. Anyone from the public here to address the board? Let the record reflect there are none. Deputy Clerk, you call the roll, please, for item 15.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 16, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2021-R-041, approving and accepting a final plan of subdivision for Southland's second consolidation.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Bill. The proposed plat of subdivision will consolidate 2 existing lots at 1710 and 17126 Harlem Avenue, resulting in a single lot that is 0.9 acres in size. The Plan Commission reviewed the final plat of subdivision at the May 6th and May 27th, 2021 meetings with a recommendation of 5-0 to approve, subject to final engineering. This resolution is also now eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the board that you want to ask Mike Mueller? No?
Jeez.
Anyone from the public? I'd like to ask Mike a question. Let the record reflect there are none. Deputy Clerk, will you call the roll for Mike? Item 16.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
And Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 17, Mr. Mahoney.
I'd like to move to consider adopting Resolution 2021-R-045, approving the contract between the Village of Tinley Park and Sewer Assessment Services for smoke dye testing and manhole inspections.
I'll second that.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Thank you. This project consists of smoke testing sanitary sewers in the areas of the village considered to be high risk for inflow and infiltration of groundwater. Smoke testing helps to identify defects in the sanitary sewers that can allow groundwater to infiltrate the sanitary system. The desired work was spelled out in an RFP to seek qualified contractors' proposals to perform the testing and inspection of the sanitary sewer system in the areas labeled as high risk or inflow and infiltration. The RFP proposed that the awarded contract would be written for 1 year with an option to extend for 2 years. This will be the third and final year of the contract. The services provided for the last 2 years has met the village's expectations. Consider awarding a contract to sewer assessment services in the amount of $75,321.56. This item was considered at the Committee of the Whole meeting held previous to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Dennis. Anyone from the board have any questions? Anyone from the public care to address the board? Deputy Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 18.
I move to consider adopting Resolution 2021-R-046, approving the Public Works Fleet Vehicle Purchase List.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Who wants to take that one? You said it at the same time.
Go ahead.
Trustee Mueller.
Mueller.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Approve the Public Works Fleet Vehicle Purchase List that includes various vehicles with a purchase amount exceeding $20,000 for each vehicle. Funding is budgeted and available in the approved fiscal year 2022 budget capital fund. Consider approving Public Works Fleet Vehicle Purchase List in the estimated cost of $1,819,000, $580. This item was considered at the Committee of a Whole meeting held previous to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Dennis. Anyone from the board want to ask Dennis a question about his fleet?
Yes, I would.
Go ahead.
I was up in Michigan over the weekend, and while the kids were on the boat and at the beach, I was reading this, and this caught my eye, that there's an item on there for a 10-wheeled dump truck for $162,980. There's another one, 10-wheel dump truck for $181,300. I'd like to know what the difference is and why there's a difference in price so much of almost $20,000.
John?
Yes, sir, I can answer that. The difference between those two dump trucks is, as we were reviewing our purchases through international of the trucks that we are purchasing this year, we noticed there was quite an abundance of fleet. So our fleet manager reached out to the shop where we're receiving those fleet, and the first truck was actually quoted out for our purchase last year, and was not able to be purchased through the cuts we made during the COVID restrictions. And through his shrewd negotiation skills, he was able to get them to hold the price of the vehicle that was quoted to us last year. And as you can see, there was quite the uptick in that same vehicle a year later based on every other increase in material costs we are seeing across the nation. So we were able to get the one that was quoted last year at last year's price. This, the higher cost was this year's quote.
Okay, thank you.
So we have a.
While we're,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
while we're talking, John, farther down on the list, you have a police interceptor at $50,500, and then you have another one below that for $1,000 more, and then you have one below that for $10,000 more. What would be the difference of all these different police interceptors?
So some of the vehicles do get outfitted slightly different, so that's probably the explanation for the $1,000 difference. The one for the $10,000 difference is because of the allowance to work with the enterprise fleet program this year. That afforded us the ability to expand the purchases for this year in our capital improvements, and that specialty interceptor is actually for the program that the police department is trying to incorporate this year for the, I think it's called bomb explosive canine fleet, and that has all
Could you
the
repeat that? What was that?
explosive canine. I don't think they have exploding dogs, but it's for the.
That's what it sounded like.
It's for the bomb sniffing dogs, but they just like the other canine vehicles, they have to have proprietary equipment for holding that officer in the back seat of that vehicle, and any of the equipment that goes along with the safety for that officer.
All right, well, thank you.
Sir, thank you.
Thanks, Bill. John, did I understand that correctly? We have a second shrewd negotiator?
We do.
All right,
I put it out there for you.
You trained him.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Anyone from the public? Dave, anything you want to add? Deputy Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 19, Trustee Mahoney.
Thanks, Mike. I'd like to move to consider adopting ordinance 2021-0-026, authorizing the disposal of surplus personal property owned by the Village of Tinley Park, Public Works fleet, vehicle, and equipment.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Approve the Public Works fleet, vehicle, and equipment list for disposal, which includes various items valued over $1,000. The village uses multiple methods to achieve the highest amount of compensation for its surplus vehicles or equipment. Most items will be sold through public auctions or through salvage and recycling companies. Consider approving the Public Works fleet vehicle equipment list for disposal. This item was considered at the committee of the whole meeting held previous to this meeting. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks.
Any questions from the board? Questions from the public? Deputy Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 20, Trustee Mueller, you're up.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2021-0-023, approving the annexation of a parcel of property commonly located at 6864 179th Street.
Have a second?
A second.
Thanks, Colleen. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you. The petitioner, Maria Poulos, has petitioned the Village of Tinley Park to annex approximately 28,552 square feet of property located at 6864 179th Street in unincorporated Cook County. The annexation will include the adjacent 179th Street right-of-way.
Any questions from the board? Anyone from the public? Does the record reflect there are none? Deputy Clerk, you call the roll for item 20.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 21, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2021-0-024, granting a map amendment for property located at 6864 and 6900 179th Street to R6, which is medium-density residential.
You have a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner, Maria Poulos, is requesting to rezone two properties from R1 to R6 to allow for the construction of two townhome structures with 6 dwelling units in each building. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on April 15, 2021, and voted 7-0 to recommend approval of the map amended in accordance with the plans, conditions, and findings of fact listed in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions from the board? Anyone from the public? Officer King? No? Deputy Clerk, you call the roll, please, for item 21.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
And Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 22, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance number 2021-0-025, granting a rear yard setback variation at 17870 and 17881 Argos Court from Sunset Estates subdivision.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner is requesting a variation to permit rear yard setbacks ranging from 13.59 feet to 15.12 feet when a 30-foot rear yard setback is required. This will allow for the construction of two townhome structures in the proposed Sunset Estates subdivision. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on April 15, 2021, voted 7-0 to recommend approval of the variation in accordance with the plans, conditions, and findings of facts listed in the staff reports. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Any questions from the board? Anyone from the public? Deputy Clerk, please call the roll. Item 22.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Laura. Item number 23, Trustee Mueller, last one.
Yep. I move we consider adopting Resolution 2021-R-040, approving and accepting a final plat of subdivision for Sunset Estates at 6864 and 6900 179th Street.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Thanks, Colleen. Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner has requested final plat approval for the Sunset Estates subdivision for property totaling approximately 49,362 square feet. The Plan Commission reviewed the final plat of subdivision at the April 15, 2021 meeting with a recommendation of approval conditional upon final engineering, and they approved that vote 7-0. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions from the board? Only thing I'd like to add is, I want to thank the Plan Commission, staff from Paula to Dan Ritter to Kimberly Clark. You guys did an excellent job. There was on these 4 items, and it was nice to find some use for that land with the pond behind it. So thanks for everything you guys did on that. Anyone from the board have any questions? Anyone from the public? Deputy Clerk, you call the roll for item number 23, please.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 24, Mr. Brady.
Well, Mr. Mayor, this resolution was to be the withdrawal from the agreement from the Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau, but due to the action of our meeting earlier, it's been suggested and voted on that we would table this resolution at this point in time.
Voted to table.
That we're for further consideration.
Dave, you want to?
I think the clarification, Trustee Brady, is the board did vote on this resolution. Technically, what the mayor was saying is that we have the right, we could reconsider within that 90 days. So it really wasn't a table, it was a motion to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would start the clock now, so if you waited a month, then the clock doesn't start a month. So either way, however you guys do it, like they said, and Dave, we're gonna try and get together as soon as possible and work this out. I mean, by next meeting, who knows? There could be some type of agreement, there could not, and then all we gotta do is just abolish it. But it gets the clock started, otherwise you don't know when that'll start.
Okay, well, item 24, take 2.
While you're on the boat.
Yes. Consider adopting Resolution 2021-R-049, authorizing the withdrawal from the agreement with the Chicago Southland Convention and Tourism Bureau, CSCV. In 1994, the village entered into this agreement with the Chicago Southland Convention.
Hold on, Bill, hold on.
I'll
Do
make
we
a
have-
motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, go ahead, Bill.
It promoted in the convention tourism in the south and southwest suburbs. In return, the village has been paying the Bureau a portion of the hotel accommodation tax equal to 95% of 1% of that tax. The village has determined the need to redirect those funds to support a Tinley Park specific tourism marketing plan. This resolution was given the Bureau 90 days notice per the agreement with the SCCV. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? One thing I ask is if you guys could please, and Dave, work with Lisa and let me know when you guys are planning on meeting so I could make arrangements to make sure I meet with you guys. Thank you.
My apologies for the misunderstanding on my end.
You got water in your ear. Any questions from the board? Anyone from the public? Would you guys like to speak again on it, or are you guys good?
We'd just like to say thank you very much for your time tonight, and that I'm really happy to hear that you want to hear a lot more about it before the decision is actually, well, I know you're making a decision tonight, but I think you're going to find out that we're just a national outreach that's totally different.
Okay, and thank you for all 4 of you coming tonight.
We also hope that by the time we connect, we'll have a little bit more handle on the financing that we talked about. So we're just
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for coming.
Deputy Clerk, can you please call the roll for item number 24?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
No.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 25. Trustee Bill Brady.
Consider adopting Resolution 2021-R-047, authorizing a professional services agreement between the Village of Tinley Park and Rory Group LLC, lobbyist, at a cost of $3,000 per month. Can I
You have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Brady.
The village seeks to renew their annual retainer agreement with the village lobbyist, the Rory Group. Tom Mannion and Lucy Anderson have worked with the village since June 1, 2019, on state issues including the Tinley Park Mental Health Center, county issues including helping the village receive $600,000 in grants to help reconstruct county roads. They have also worked with the village on other development issues and are trying to acquire state capital projects. The fees are remaining the same as they were back in 2019, and that's $3,000 per month. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I do have some questions. I brought this up last time this came up. You know, it was last September that I reached out to Dave to find out there was no reporting on the village site back then, and I believe it was updated. And then they're 2 months behind now. You know, I understand the relationship with the board and this Rory Group. I think it's even more important because of donations through political donations that we are always very transparent on their reporting. They should be treated the same as any other vendor, and the requirements that they should be reporting on a more timely manner. It's 2 months behind. Their reports are it's a summary. It's not a lot of detail. I think our expectation should always be that we treat them as any other vendor, regardless. You know, if there's connections with who we want to bring in. I guess I want to question: do we not ever review that and maybe look at anybody else? We just stay with the same person. Where most of our contracts we do review, but I believe we should be expecting them to report in properly. Should be on the village website, like the prior lobbyist had to do.
Dave, before you comment, I see you leaning forward. If I could just step in. As far as your comment, Diane, that they're 2 months behind, it's quarterly. So you have April, May, and June.
January, February, March.
You have that one.
But
So April, May, you said they're 2 months behind. April, May, and June are not due until the second quarter is over. So in July, that's when your second quarter is due. So they're not behind.
But I have also asked that back in September when I brought this up, when there was no reporting for a year, I asked, could we as a board have input on what they're working on, or at least get notified of what they're working on? I mean, I've never seen a vendor that we don't get anything.
You're still
from.
not addressing the question. You said they were 2 months behind.
They were 2 months
You said,
behind.
Diane, I have the floor now. You said they were 2 months behind. They're not 2 months behind because a quarter, as you would know, goes April, May, June. So how could they be 2 months behind when we did, Diane, I'm speaking, when we didn't even hit July yet? How are they 2 months behind?
Mike, I
April,
took
May,
pictures of the website
June.
because I wasn't going to argue.
That's
with
3
the
months.
point.
So in July,
But
then you hit your quarter.
They just posted that. They weren't up to date. If it's posted now, okay, but they weren't up to date. Last year, I sent an email in September, I think it was September 18th. There was no reports ever published by them. I have pictures just because I figured I would have to debate this. I'm just asking that they should be treated as any other vendor, regardless of relationships, especially when they're giving donations to people on this board, including when I ran. There was a relationship with this organization, with our political party. For the good of the taxpayers, we should be expecting them to do things properly. 10 days max, they should be reporting. Twice I've asked. And then they do report in, but it shouldn't have to ask. It was a year the first time.
Just a couple comments.
Please.
First of all, in terms of input, again, and I'll say it again, if there's anything, anybody in the board, you know, thinks that we should be working on legislatively, just let me know. That's certainly something, there's things that have been come up before, whether it be with the county or the state, that there's been requests and suggestions, and they've done it. And again, you know, the issue about, this is actually, I mean, reviewing our whether we have this contract, we've actually changed lobbyists before, so this isn't like somebody we've had for a long time. And the work of a lobbyist typically is something that is very cyclical. There's going to be months, you know, during legislative session when there's gonna be a lot going on. There's gonna be times when there's very little. So, I mean, that's sometimes why you might, you know, what are they working on? Well, that's why it's a retainer. Because there's sometimes, I will tell you, when the Racino was hot and heavy, I mean, we were on the phone with them probably 3 or 4 times a week. And it's just, it's not like any other type of consultant that we have, because of the way it's really kind of timed around often when the legislative session and what our issues are. So that's why it's sometimes it's intermittent. You may see a lot like we did in the Racino, and there's times where it may not be as busy.
Is that it, Dave?
Yeah.
And just for the record, if I could correct you a little bit on that. As far as the Racino, I mean, nothing that they did for everything that went on with the Racino was part of their agreement for being a lobbyist. All the work that they were doing with you and staff and the attorneys, that was all outside of. They probably did an additional $20,000-$25,000 worth of consulting work where we did not pay them. And actually, you even had a discussion that, you know, this is not outside your contract. You guys really should be getting compensated. And what did they tell you?
They didn't want it.
Exactly. And the $600,000, which we've been trying, we haven't got any money from help from, really, they got one meeting, they set up for Dave, they got $500,000 for 175th Street. So I'm pretty comfortable with this. Anyone else from the board want to comment? Anyone from the public? Deputy Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
No.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 26, receive comments from the staff. Dave?
Yes, just one
ahead.
quick one. He's not here tonight, but I know several of you were there. This was Chief Reeder's last day here, so they had a reception for him. I just wanted to thank him for his service to the village. That's all.
Thanks. Hey, Pat, could you please, I don't know if you had anything else to say, Pat, myself, Trustee Brady, we were, and actually former Mayor Seaman, we walked together on Oak Park Avenue for cruise night. Pat, you want to give a summary of how that went tonight?
Yeah, it was a great crowd. Looked like everybody wanted to get out and about, sort of the post-COVID pandemic a little bit, so we had a great crowd. Just hats off again to our public safety team of putting together the safety plan for traffic, closing off the street, and the traffic control pattern. So everything looked like it flowed pretty well. We were out there for about an hour, and it was just a great crowd, and looking forward to the summer and all of our events that we've got scheduled.
Great. John?
I was gonna add one more.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Pat.
As everybody knows, last Thursday, we closed the vaccination center at the convention center. And again, Tinley Park made history in the sense of being the first mass vaccination center stood up in the state of Illinois. Again, this was a monumental effort from various parties, you know, with our attorneys, our staff here, our collaboration with the county, the state, and our federal partners to pull this thing off. It was the quickest one that they stood up. It was stood up in less than 3 days. And again, kudos to Dan Fitzgerald and the Harp Group out there that reacted to this and really made this a success. It was an amazing feat, and we did pull it off. And again, it was a team effort by all the parties involved, and want to thank everybody that contributed to that. So we had close to over about 150,000 people vaccinated. This Tinley Park area was one of the highest vaccinated zip codes in Cook County. So it was a great effort.
Thanks, Pat.
Kudos to you too, Pat.
Mr. Urbanski?
Yes, one quick item here. On Friday, with much collaboration between my water superintendent, Joe Fitzpatrick, and water foreman, Ken Howard, they're able to work with the state, CMS, and a contracted leak locating service to find the water main leak that was on the property. It was, one thing I've never seen before, where the water main did not show itself over the surface. It dumped quickly into an adjacent storm structure, so there was no way of identifying that without their coordination. They had a crew out there first thing Friday morning, and were able to get the main break repaired in about 4 hours. And we will, be sending, obviously, CMS bill for our services. And, again, appreciate Joe and Ken's hard work and working with CMS and the state to get this repaired. So we don't have to worry about the state spending a bunch more money of our water.
Thanks, John.
Very good.
Chief Walsh, you have your pictures. Anything you want to say, or are you good?
After reviewing that video, I realized I need a little Grecian formula, so see if we can get it in the budget. Thank you.
Thank you. You look good, though. Ms. Donna Framke, anything you'd like to add?
Just to dovetail, we had 226 cars out there today, which is one of our biggest, so I'm really excited.
Unbelievable.
The farmers markets are starting this Saturday. They'll go through mid-October. And with the expectation that we're returning to Phase 5 on June 11th, we're full speed ahead with all of our events. I'm really excited about the season.
Awesome. Kimberly?
Yes, thank you. I wanted to thank Lenny's, their new car wash opened there on 183rd Street. I want to thank them for offering free car washes to the community. They're going to be a great business, and very happy to have them here in town, to actually have two in town. So looking forward to a long relationship with them. Also, you'll see the progress on 7-Eleven there on 171st in Harlem. They're moving really quickly with that building. It's looking great. Kudos to those developers as well. And just a highlight, the Boulevard project is getting really close. They're looking to get their CO here soon for the second floor, which then they can start signing leases and getting people moved in. They're awaiting some elevator inspections, but really, really close. So keep your eye on that. If you have any questions about how to look into leasing, we have information on the website, and feel free to call the Community Development Department. I can get you connected as well. So excited to see maybe some people moving in the next month.
Thank you, Kimberly. Mr. Brown, anything you'd like to add? Brad has his head down. Mr. Bettenhausen?
I have nothing to add.
Ms. Lippman? All right. Next item number 27, receive comments from the board. I would just like to say this weekend, the Memorial Day ceremony, the Veterans Commission did a phenomenal job putting that together, along with our marketing. Vicki and Donna, you guys were both there, all the staff that was there, the hard work from Public Works, putting it all together and putting it up, and the board, whoever was able to attend that day, and piggyback off of Pat Carr, the cruise nights. It was unbelievable how busy it was, and so many happy, smiling people and spending money, and it was good for the businesses on Oak Park Avenue. And then last, I'm looking forward to what our block party is going to look like, Donna. So waiting for you to finally push all that out on what it's going to look like for everyone's, I think, all geared up and excited for it. So I'm sure it'll be amazing as always. Anyone else? Bill?
Yes, I want to piggyback on with you and Pat. The food from the VFW was very good, and its Scoops ice cream was very good. We tested it. We just wanted to make sure that
You all make sure you had good food, that's number one. And number two, to piggyback on Dave, yes, I was, for the record, I was at the ceremony for Forrest's last walkout and the salute. A man who put up with 43 years being a fighter fire going into danger. For us here in Tinley, he managed to get 2 fire trucks for us. A new fire station built that's been sitting around for 15 years on paper. He finally got it done. Helping our rating, okay? And it's not just him, of course, but the staff and all that involves to get that done. But he was at the command to be our #1 rating. And his legacy when he leaves here is his words he always said was smarter, better, and faster and safer. And some of those things we learned when Lisa Valley, Kristen Therian, we were there for the inaugural class. Huh?
It's Laura.
Well, I know, but I just pointed out where she would normally sit. I know the difference. That's where she normally would sit. But she was with us at the inaugural Fire Academy, and we learned a lot, and we certainly listened to what he said, smarter, better, faster, and safer. So we wish his retirement the best after 43 years of service as a firefighter. Thank you, Forrest Reeder.
Thank you, Bill. Anyone else?
I'd just like to echo what Bill just said. Just wish Forrest well on his retirement. Very well deserved. It was a really, really nice ceremony, nice send off for him. So I wish him all the best in his retirement.
Great. Item 29. I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn to, wrote over. Item 28. Receive comments from the public. Would anyone from the public care to address the board? Let the record reflect there are none. Deputy Clerk, are there any emails for anyone they would like to call in?
No, there were not.
Thank you. Item 29. I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the following. A, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. B, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. And C, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Deputy Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries, and we will be adjourned at 9:24, and we will not be coming back. Thank you, everyone.